to Wholesale Hotline, where we cover everything to do with wholesale real estate. I'm jamildamji.
I'm Brent Daniels.
And I am Pace Morby.
And together we cover the most important parts of wholesale real estate.
Lead generation.
Conversion of sellers into contracts.
And dispositions. Guys, remember, when you're watching this show, do us a favor and squad up in the comments.
Make sure that you are liking and subscribing to the YouTube channels and in the Facebook group Wholesale Hotline.
Most important, we want to know we're doing a great job for you and helping you build your business. So go give us a review on iTunes and or Spotify.
So squad up and enjoy the show. Welcome to Wholesale Hotline number 167. I am joined today by the lovely Laura Morby, standing in for Pace. He is on Ken McElroy's podcast. Make sure you guys check out that episode when it comes out. And I also got two of my favorite Astro students here. Not that all of them aren't my favorite Astro students, but we've got Heidi Del Torre and we've got Matt Justice over here. We're just going to be hanging out, answering some questions, getting perspectives from agents on wholesale deals, perspective from top wholesalers on wholesale deals, and from people that are in the weeds, getting it done, getting deals in every day. We're going to be swapping out some sub-2 folks. We're going to be swapping in some TTP people as well. We got a huge live audience right now. Let's give the camera view out there. You guys can see we're popping right now. Yeah, come on. Everybody can hear you guys. Yes, yes. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. How are you, Laura?
Oh, I am so good. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy you're here. You're going to need to help me out because I have lost my eyeglasses.
I did notice that.
Yeah, so I can't see me right now. So any questions or anything that pop up on the screen as they come up, Laura, I'll have you read them so that we can answer audience questions. Guys, make sure you put your questions in the comment section below and ask us anything you want. You know, like, what did we eat for dinner? What did you eat for dinner, by the way?
Last night.
Oh, you haven't had dinner yet?
No, I haven't had dinner yet. Last night, though, I made my grandma's goulash, and she was born in 1917, and Pace is like, what's in here? And I was like, someone who lived through the Great Depression and both World Wars.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow, guys, that is, I mean, how tasty was it?
I had it when I was a kid, so I think it's amazing.
So for you, it's like soul food.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like McDonald's is for me.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking or chicken wings. I'd been on a bit of an adventure.
Yeah.
I basically checked into a monastery for 7 days.
Oh my goodness.
And I went in on a 7-day like meditation retreat where I essentially meditated somewhere between 45 and 50 hours. I don't know. Time kind of lost itself in my world. And it was an incredible experience. I highly recommend anybody who has the ability to check out of their life, put the phone away, put the food away, put the habits of your day-to-day life away. Thank you. All the things that might keep you in old patterns, you know, and I was talking to the Astro community about this on Sunday, and, you know, you have such a dynamic life. You live with one of the most like powerful, energized human beings in the world. So I imagine for you, you're always moving and you're always shaking. Things are constantly changing. Yeah. So it's very hard for you to like really predict your day-to-day life, right?
100%. I always say that I'm going one day at a time.
I can honestly say to you that is such a blessing because it keeps you in the moment.
Yeah, it does.
It really does. And in real life, guys, that's all we have. That's all you have is like right now. Right. Yesterday is over. Tomorrow isn't promised. And we have today. And what you make of today is truly going to determine what's going to happen, your outcomes. Did you do the thing? Did you do the work? Did you actually break the habit of stopping whatever excuses you're giving yourself that tell you you're not good at this, that this is hard, there's too many people, the market's tough, agents smell, what all the, you know.
Do I smell?
No, you smell wonderful, but it's just we got these excuses and they're trapped in our brains and they create these ideas that keep us so small.
Yeah.
And then that's the reason why we don't succeed. Right. Yeah. And so for me, really shining a light bulb on that and understanding how as a community, for everybody who's in the comments right now, every time you do something different, every time that you put yourself out and stretch yourself and break a habit, because bottom line is, if you wake up, what I learned is that, you got a mind here, but
Right.
you've also got like a mind in your body, in different parts of your body. Like, you've heard this statement before. Some ladies might be able to relate to this, where they say some guys are ruled by their junk, right?
Yeah.
Well, and
Their
their other head, right? Think about that. There's a mind there, right? And so if somebody's really driven there, you can tell that, like, if there's enough energy to make a baby there, then if they're thinking that way, that's like the base of their thought process.
Right.
Some people have their thought process stuck in like survival, like their gut, like, how am I going to eat? How am I going to live? Like, where am I going to get food today? How am I going to do that?
Or fear.
Or fear.
Fear.
And that's
Yeah.
like, I think, comes up a little bit more, the competitiveness, their fear. And then as you elevate, you get into your heart. And then you get into your heart, you start to like get into higher and higher ways of being and living and acting.
Yeah.
And it's just, you get that understanding and that realization. And then as a community, for all the people that are in here tuning in and watching, you guys are all living this, like by taking time out of your day to say, you know what, I'm not going to do YouTube, right? Well, you are doing YouTube. I'm not going to do Netflix right now. I'm not going to do Netflix and watch just like some, crazy show about zombies. I'm going to actually do something about my life. Right. So
I'm glad you did that.
the
last time we meditated together, I cried like a baby.
Oh my gosh.
And you know what? I was going to say, while you were talking, one of the things that you taught me, which really made a difference to me, is you taught me that if you live in the past, you're living in, can lead to depression and regret, and living in the future, thinking and worrying about the future can cause a lot of anxiety. And I live a lot in anxiety, and that really hit me hard, where I was like, I am making up all of these what if scenarios in my head that
Never
doesn't matter.
happen.
Yeah.
Like, again, oh my God, we're so good at what if this crazy thing happens that never happens, but then because you're worried that it was going to happen, you didn't do the thing.
And it robs you of your present moment.
Yes. And then you don't do the work. You don't pick up the phone. Yes, I'm losing weight. Old Jamil got, new, I don't know. Old Jamil ate new Jamil. I don't know how to say it, but
that's the right way.
I'm definitely shedding.
I took a few of your pounds.
Get out of here. Laura, talk to us a little bit about the market right now with respect to, the agent mindset. Monday. We've got our special guest with us in here too, the little Morbys.
Yeah.
How is sentiment right now? Because I'm hearing, at least from the franchises and from my Keegley corporate stores, deals are popping. We are like getting things done. Deals are moving.
Right.
There's all this fear. The media loves. I got a phone call on my way in today. Somebody's like, "What's going to happen with the market, man? They're going to put all these extra fees. They're going to put all these extra fees on people with good credit, and they're going to take away fees from people with bad credit. What's going to happen to the market? Is it going to become a 2008 again?"
I don't think so. The likes of that, I highly doubt we'll ever see again. So I kind of feel like it's a lot more normal,
It is.
So wholesale deals are still happening. People are still fix and flipping. Buyers are still there. Even with interest rates where they are, they're not horrible. You can ask a seller to buy down your rate. So I think it's fine. It is what it is. It's not crazy like it was.
Yep.
But it shouldn't have been that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it was nice for flipping for a while, but it's not nice for everyone else.
Yeah, and you know what? Even then, on flips, I'm seeing flips right now that are priced well, like in the starter home price point. Flips are moving.
Yeah, they are.
They're moving quick, right?
Yeah.
If here's some advice for you fix and flippers out there, or for you wholesalers out there.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at like, where do I target for my offers? Like, what kind of deal should I be looking at in terms of price point? I'm going to say that you're going to have the best volume. And look at the median price point of the market that you're in. Look at what's the median price point of the market that you're in, and start targeting deals under the median price point, right? So that you can sell at the median price point, or that your buyer can sell at the median price point. That's going to be the sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
The other part of the market that I haven't seen take any hits is ultra luxury.
Yeah.
Above 2 million, if you're selling prices above 2 million, rich people don't care about rates. They just don't. It's not in their. You know who does care? The guy who's kind of wealthy, like, who lives in the $750 to the like $1.2 million house.
Yep.
He's very rate sensitive. he's extremely rate, or she's very extremely rate sensitive, because to them, they've got it right now, but they haven't been able to figure out how to keep it yet.
Yeah.
They're still worried about, like, oh my God, like I got this good job right now, but it could change, or I got this good situation right now, but it could move. So I'm like constantly in this fear mode. So I'm going to wait it out until I know that I'm going to have a 5.5% mortgage, which, by the way, guys, ain't coming until 2024.
Yeah.
Okay. Until we get back into an election cycle, we're not getting towards the 5s. We're going to be sitting in the mid-high 6s, but activity is there.
Oh, 100%.
Days on market is still staying very consistent right now.
Consistent.
That's
why I say normal.
Normal.
Yeah,
it's
which
normal.
is nice,
Yes.
right? Yeah, I actually feel I'm not worried at all. And everyone was, oh, everything's going to plummet. All of your values are going to plummet. And we're still doing okay. Foreclosures aren't as bad as I thought they were going to be. So that's all really promising.
It is very promising.
Yeah.
And you know, the foreclosure situation as well, right? We saw, and you know, Pace and I have talked about this extensively, but I truly believe that I think the 2 to 4% mortgage is going to become an asset class.
Oh, yeah.
In itself, right? And I think that, and people are knowing that, they're realizing that, and now venture capitalists are creating companies that are teaching homeowners how to turn their houses into rentals.
Yeah.
So think about that, right? We saw how many homeowners say, I do have to buy a new home, but I'm not going to sell my home for the discount that I have to take. I've got this great 2.5 or 3% mortgage, which I'll never get again.
Yep.
Why don't we keep this as a rental?
Yep.
We don't know anything about property management.
Yeah.
Oh, all of a sudden, venture capitalists and private equity companies realized, oh, we should educate the American population about how they can keep their homes and turn them into short-term and mid-term rentals.
Yep.
And actually cash flow on their houses that they have low payments on. So that, guess what happened to that inventory? Sucked out the market.
Yep, sure did.
Right?
Yep.
And then builders right now, they're not building because rates are too high to build. So what happened to that inventory? Sucked out the market.
Yep.
So what happens? Demand.
Yep.
Demand is there.
Yep.
It is there. From the perspective of talking to agents, you guys are out there, you're talking to a lot of wholesalers, you're talking to a lot of wholesalers and realtors. How has the sentiment been? Because I'd love for people to just get a quick glimpse from people in the weeds, right? Because, like, look, I'm thankful I've scaled out of my business. You know, it's Keegley is an operating monster, and I love walking in there and high-fiving everybody.
Yeah.
And going to my, you know, board meetings and doing, like, you know, C-suite executive stuff.
Yeah, you're not texting the Morbys.
I'm not texting the Morbys
all day long.
Exactly. and you know, not that I don't comp a house here and there. I still have to comp houses for Monique Walker because she refuses to work with anybody else in my office but me, and that's fine. But that's okay. I love Monique, right? But how is it? What's it like out there right now?
I will say, me personally, I'm in the Florida market, primarily working with agents, and I work with wholesalers in Arizona and Florida. And the houses are moving like crazy.
Yeah.
And in Florida, it's crazy. I started a spreadsheet to keep track of the market research for the cities in Florida that we're in.
Yeah.
And I would say average days on market is about 30 to 40 days right now. And it's about 68 to 75% of ARV. And
sweet spot. I mean, that there's nothing crazy about that.
Mm-hmm.
There's absolutely nothing to be worried about in those numbers. That's exactly where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, my buyers are telling me that too. In Florida,
They're probably telling you, like,
75%
we can come up a little
of
bit higher,
ARV,
like,
exactly, minus repairs. So it's busting. It
Good.
really is. And even wholesalers are, like, the deals that I'm getting from other wholesalers, as long as they have it within that sweet spot, I still have room to add my fee to send it out to my buyers.
Yeah.
And you're connecting the dots and getting it done.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. How about you, Matt? What are you seeing?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, a lot of buyers right now, if it's a deal, they're pulling the trigger within like 10, 15 minutes, sight unseen.
Fear is like the fear that we got when the rate hikes first started, and there was that, like, gear, like, the, you know, everybody shifted gears, and we kind of went into, everyone was like, oh, what's happening? And it was an uncomfortable, like, 90 days, right? I remember that 90 days. It affected me. It affected my franchises. It affected my corporate stores. It's real, right? Like, nobody can pretend that never occurred.
Right.
But that fear has completely.
Yeah, it's gone. I feel like prices too are starting to come back up a little bit right now. And I mean, for the properties that I'm getting in right now, a lot of them are now priced right around 70% of ARV, where a couple months ago I was getting everything around 65%, and those are just flying off the shelf. And so I feel like prices are coming up on that side. I've, made a couple offers too and been beaten out by other people and buyers coming in cash above list price.
Yeah.
So I think prices are starting to come up. People are ready to pull the trigger if it's a deal. It just has to be priced right.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you guys for the perspective.
Can I say one
yes,
more
please
thing
do.
really quick? You
Please
were
do.
talking about mindset, and I will say it's good to know the market research.
Yep.
It's good to know what's going on and have your finger on that pulse. But last year when the market shifted, I'm like, I'm going to have my head in the clouds. I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and I'll adjust as I need to. And
Yep.
I'll just pay attention to what is actually happening in reality and not be scared by news reports of interest rate hikes and stuff like that. And it's been okay.
Yeah.
August and September, we were
And-
solid closing deals right after that big shift.
Right. And how's it looking for you guys right now? What do you have? You have stuff in escrow right now?
I have 3 in escrow right now.
What do you stand to make?
I haven't added it because I'm trying not
Yeah,
to
don't
focus
count
on
your
the
money before you
result.
made
Okay.
it.
All right. Let's not count the chickens before
Yeah.
they hatch, guys. Thank you so much. Do we got any TTPers in the house? I'd love to get some direct to seller folks up in the seats here. Laura, we got a question for you and I. Scott W. asked, Laura and Jamil, what's the best thing an investor could use their agent license for if they have one for wholesaling and maybe for an additional other income like referrals?
Oh my gosh. I guess probably at this point, one of the most valuable things that my license gives me is access to MLS. Makes it so easy to comp. The other thing is listing your own flips, finding your own tenants for your holds. All of those things are super valuable. Having contract knowledge also is valuable. Like there's just some things that as an agent you just have. But yeah, I don't really want to work with retail people, so I will refer that away.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think the referral side of it is look, here's my thing, right? Like let's say you go to the TTP model, you're going direct to seller, cold calling works, you get fat juicy, whale deals, which are
Right.
amazing. But you're gonna have people say, and their houses sometimes are just not gonna be wholesale deals. They're
Right.
gonna be too pretty, right?
Too pretty, yeah.
And they're gonna have just the right amount of updates for people that want to live in them. They're not going to be ideal to be sold at 65 or 60% of ARV. You would be doing them a disservice by even offering that because it wouldn't be a fair market price, right?
Yep.
And look, none of us are predators. We are here to serve the communities that we are living in. We are here to serve the people that we are working with. And so,
Give them the best solution for
yes,
them.
the best solution possible. And if you have a license, the best solution possible in that circumstance is to list it or refer it.
Yep.
That if you don't want to do the actual listing, you don't want to handle that part of a retail sale, no problem. Refer it out, take your 25% or negotiate whatever that is for your split with your referral partner and move on over.
Exactly.
I'd love to get some perspectives from anybody doing any creative deals in the house. So come on up here, guys, if you guys want to make your way up and say some words. Beyond that, I'm going to keep looking in the comments for some questions. Kristen Martinez said, what is the next event to go to with PB&J? Well, it's a great question, Kristen. There is actually an event coming up this weekend. Unfortunately, the B won't be there. He's in Cabo right now, having an incredible time, just living
Maybe
it up
having a
with his
margarita?
gorgeous wife, having margaritas,
Yeah.
eating. I got to say one thing, though. I go to 5-star Mexican resorts, right?
Yeah.
And is it just me or does the food suck always?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it just me? Yeah, it's just me. Okay, anyways, he must be, he's having a good time eating 5-star food, I guess, because I'm the only person here who thinks that all-inclusive food is terrible. Pace and I are going to be speaking at the Flipping Summit. Go to theflippingsummit.com. That's theflippingsummit.com. You will be not only watching Pace and I speak, that is coming up this weekend, guys, but also we will be joined by Tariq El Moussa from HGTV, his gorgeous wife, Heather El Moussa. And if you are a fan of Selling Sunset, which is the #1 show on Netflix,
Yep.
you will be also met by Mary and Romaine, who are big stars, and then an actual billionaire. I want to pick a billionaire's brain. Who doesn't want to pick a billionaire's brain and ask them questions about how are they thinking? How are they acting? What are the moves? Like, what kind of moves do billionaires make out there on a day-to-day basis to determine what's worth their time? Right? Because as a person in my spot, I don't have $1 billion.
Yeah.
Different
set of problems.
Different set of problems.
Different
set of
mindset.
focuses, right?
Yeah.
So I'm focused on millionaire stuff. But I want to understand what gets a billionaire out of bed every day, right? And if because you got $1 billion or more, I mean there's I mean life purpose is a thing, but like how much does it take for you to say, okay, I'm going to look at this project or I'm going to look at this deal or let me see the particulars of the P&L, you know? So I think that's a really interesting perspective. And it's been rare, if ever, that we've had an event, a real estate event where an actual billionaire, other than Grant Cardone, who, I mean, look, I'm pretty sure Grant Cardone's a billionaire, but he does it in multifamily and in a different avenue. And so here's just an opportunity for you guys to connect and watch that. So go to theflippingsummit.com. I'm just going to put that up on the screen here real quick so you guys can check it out. Bobby, if you wouldn't mind throwing that up, I'd appreciate it. Theflippingsummit.com, guys. Get your tickets and come hang out. Why y'all shy? How come nobody wants to come up here and talk about the business that they're doing?
I know Wes wants to come up.
Come on
and
up
sit
here,
by
Wes.
us.
Come have a seat. Talk to me.
Come
talk
up
to
in the
Laura and
hot
I.
seat.
Come up in the hot seat.
Hot seat time.
How are you, bro?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Talk to me
Hey,
about
everybody.
creative finance. What's crushing? How are you navigating the waters right now? Where are you really finding the sweet spot in your business?
So for me, Jamil, I'm primarily a lender within Sub 2. So I partner with a lot of people.
Okay, so talk about that. What does a lender, what qualifies for a deal that is interesting to you? Because I think there's a lot of people that are probably on the phones talking to, no equity deals, or deals that have like low cash flow. What entices you as a lender to say, yeah, I'll lend you the down payment, or I'll lend you what you need to do that deal? Open that up for us.
So there's a couple parts to it, especially for the no equity ones, which are really hot right now. The low to no equity, the expired listing, those are things that, like my buddy Kevin Joe targets really hard right now, and a bunch of other people within Sub 2. Now, for a lender's perspective, I have risk in lending on a deal that doesn't have equity, right? Because what am I secured by, right? So it's hard for me to look at those as a lender perspective, but I would look at them from a partner perspective. If I can come in as a partnership and split, cash flow and not split equity, obviously, but have some sort of protection from control. So say my partner comes in and wants me to lend on a deal or become a capital partner, I got to be able to have some sort of control if they default, right? So that's what I'm looking at. Expired listings, some of those, they do have equity built in, or some of them are great for fix and flip still, which right now, I had essentially written off fix and flips when the market started to turn. But honestly, like people that I know that are doing them, they're still doing great. They're killing it. The market is not, it may have slowed a little bit, but it's right back to the point now where like I had a buddy who just sold a flip and it sold in 2 days on market.
I mean that's hot, dude.
That's hot.
That's hot.
It's hot. So I'm back to like, okay, maybe lending on flips. Right now I'm doing a bunch of loan sponsors. So I'm kind of holding liquid. So before everybody hits me up, I could potentially sponsor your loan if it's a DSCR, Morby method stuff. That's kind of what I focus on.
Okay, so when you say a loan sponsor, open that up for the people that are not familiar with what that means.
Yeah, so for me, I focus on the Morby method deals with a bunch of partners. So actually, this is great. This is perfect. I'm so glad you brought me up here. All the time in the Facebook groups, I see people post, I have a seller finance deal, but they want, 30% down. Everybody crushes the comments like, that's not a deal. It's not a deal. It's not a deal. You're not thinking creatively enough. It could be a fantastic deal. And if someone is willing to carry 50% or more of a deal on a seller finance, that's perfect for me and my partners, because I can go to a DSCR lender. I can sponsor that loan, meaning I'm the guarantor of it. I can show the liquidity for the down payment, 6 months of mortgage and closing costs. I have the credit for it. I have the experience for it, everything that the lender wants to see. And we do these, super unique Morby method deals on these where we get a partial overfund from a DSCR. It ends up being that we're acquiring, like right now, we're acquiring portfolios for literally no money out of my pocket. and actually getting money kicked back to us in the end. So we're getting our
So
reserves.
wait, hold
built
on
in.
a second. You're saying you're getting paid to buy a house. You're getting paid to buy houses right now?
Yep.
And then are those deals cash flowing?
Yes. Some of them may be borderline, depending how you.
But even
depends
it-
how you
look-
structure the seller finance.
Okay, but
Right.
like if you can even get into a situation where you're even just making like you're even, you've gotten paid, so you've gotten cushion, right?
Yep.
You got cushion in the for the push
Reserves built in.
Something's going on
Yeah.
or whatever you need.
Mhm.
You got that handled. Very very creative. Pace creating the Morby method, I think, was one of the most genius ways to do those types of deals, and incredible stuff. You're doing a portfolio right now. Where is that at?
It's in Ohio.
Okay.
Nice.
Yep.
What's that like amount? Can you kind of walk us through that deal?
Sure. Yeah. So it's the rough numbers on it is it's a 12-door portfolio. It's 6 duplexes, and we haven't closed yet, so I won't talk too much about it.
Sure.
But the numbers that we have and the offers that we have between the lender and then the seller carry part, we'll be cashing out about $127,000 tax free, right? Because it's a loan. So, it's kind of like a cash out refi for other people.
Yeah, you don't
to
pay
understand
taxes
it.
on loans.
Don't pay taxes on loans.
That's Kiyosaki will say it till he's dead, I'm sure, and even after he's dead, he will still say it some way or shape or form. He will scream it from his grave. Taxes are for communists. And I just wrote a big check. Even though, look, I thought I did it. I thought I did it right this year. My tax bill was $1.4 million, and I was like, what? And so, but anyways, I figured stuff out. I bought some rentals. I bought a Rolls Royce that I really didn't need, but I did it purposefully, and I actually got my tax bill down to just around $500,000, which
Nice.
I'm happy about. Like
Yeah.
I'm cool to pay $500,000 in taxes. I should do better. If I maybe had this portfolio that you had, maybe I could got the depreciation from that, been paid to take over a portfolio of houses, and then maybe paid no taxes. I'm still getting to that point. Leverage scares me. I'm just that guy, but that's okay.
Yep.
Brother, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming in and
Absolutely.
sharing. Laura, here's a
Thanks,
question
guys.
I'd love to get your opinion on, because you and Pace do a lot of mobile homes, and I see that you guys buy them. I see that you guys fix them and flip them. Debbie Kale said, I'd love to hear your thoughts on mobile homes and modulars. They seem to be plentiful in her area, and they need rehabbing and moving. What are your thoughts?
I think that they are, they're not the most beautiful or attractive or sexy type of flip, but they work really well. You can get them for pretty inexpensive. And even the majority of the ones that we flip have massive problems. Like the one that I have one listed right now that we had just a complete nightmare. We pretty much had to rebuild it. There was a rattlesnake nest underneath it. So it's been pretty crazy, but we still are going to make money, even though we've held it for a year and a half, because our permit process took forever with Apache Junction. So you just have to be careful when you buy them. You have to make sure that they have never been moved before. That's really weird, is when they come from the factory, they get placed on a plot of land. And even if they aren't affixed, if they're moved again, they're non-financeable. So you have to be really careful. That can be sometimes really hard to research. I've actually had to go and pull historic aerial photos from like the 80s and
To prove
90s
it.
to prove that it has never been moved and it originally was there.
I never knew that. I only
Yeah.
thought that it, pre-1976 was unfinanceable. But
Yeah.
even if it's post-1976, if it's been
Been
moved,
That's it. You're
it's
done.
not financeable.
Yep.
Is it?
That isn't that interesting?
Yep. And then
So do they treat that as a vehicle?
they treat it as,
Like
private
like
property, not real property.
Wow.
So you have to be just a little bit careful. So when you're
Private property. not a
when
vehicle.
you're acquiring them, you just have to do a little bit of homework. Obviously, like you said, built after 1976, a double wide, and then just make sure it hasn't been moved before. And if you're scared or nervous, you can always run it past a lender. But the easiest way to check is just to, maybe before you have it get under contract, is have your title company run a really quick search to find the affidavit of a fixture. If it's within a couple years of the manufacture date, it's you probably don't have an issue. It's just when people wait, decades to fix it, then you're gonna get called into question.
I love it.
Yeah.
JF has a question. How do venture capitalists benefit from teaching homeowners how to be landlords? Well, here's the thing, right? If there is an opportunity for you to educate somebody, there is an opportunity for you to make money. And you can take a property management percentage. So think about this. Some of the largest companies in the United States are property management firms.
Yeah.
Now, what if you could get all of these homeowners that are going to keep their 2 to 4% mortgages in place in these homes, but they're going to rent them out, but they don't want to be landlords. They don't understand what to do when the sink breaks, when the light bulb goes out, when they've got a foundation crack, or when there's a nest of rattlesnakes underneath the house. How do they deal with that stuff, right?
Yeah.
You call the property management company, you figure out, you deal with real estate professionals who understand how to deal with real estate things.
Yeah.
And so that's how venture capitalists benefit from that, because they're taking people who are not in real estate and taking the burden of being a property manager off of them, the burden of that entire process off of them, taking a portion of that cash flow that's coming in, not having to acquire the property in the process.
Yeah.
Think of that.
Yeah. There's so much where you think, hey, don't put your brain in somebody else's head. But there's so much that everyone who's watching this is probably like, if you don't own any long-term rentals or short-term rentals, you're probably like, wow, I can't even imagine not wanting to know how to do that or wanting to learn. But homeowners are not just afraid of like the repairs. They're afraid of finding and screening tenants, writing leases to make sure that they're protected based on their state's residential landlord tenant laws. Like there's so much about it that would be an excellent benefit for a company to handle on behalf of homeowners. So
love it. I'd love to have the Boltons come up here in a moment and chat with us about what's going on in their life. But I do have a question for you, Laura, or yourself here. Mike Craig has a question saying, I have a tired landlord right now that's open to creative finance, but overvalues his properties. Could purchasing the LLC be a good option for this individual? Would this also help them establish business credit? Do either of you guys have any experience in that?
I have a comment on he overvalues it. It depends on how much he overvalues it and what your long-term strategy is. If you want to hold on to these properties in your portfolio personally and you want to hold on to them well into your retirement and pass them on to your kids, it doesn't matter per se if you pay a little bit more than you would want to, a little bit over market value, because that does not matter. Totally. As long as it cash flows, you should be fine. And there's so many options to do with an asset to make sure it cash flows other than just, you know, a long-term 1 year, 2 year rental, or, hey, these properties, the HOA doesn't allow an Airbnb, so now there's nothing else. You can do midterms. You can market it to insurance companies who need a place for their homeowners to stay after they've had a fire or a flood. There's so many other things that you can do to make sure that they cash flow, even though perhaps this tired landlord wants a little bit too much money.
Love it. And from a lender's perspective, what do you think of that? Does buying an LLC create hair on a deal for you because of the ownership length?
No. Or I wouldn't do that. That's just me though, because I want to hold it in my own LLC that's been created by me and my people who do it. So I make sure it's set up the right way, so I have the proper anonymity, and my operating agreements are proper. I don't know what goes into buying another LLC. Like even when we buy businesses, we are buying it in a new LLC. We're not buying the actual business LLC.
Right.
So
because you don't know what this person has done. If they gotten credit, do they? You know, like have
And
they
then-
screwed somebody over? Or is there like some kind of
Yes.
Is there something
Liability.
a liability in the background?
Well, the whole point of holding anything in an LLC is to minimize any of your risk associated with people getting in trouble, getting sued.
Yes.
And so when you're doing that, it's like, has he kept proper records? Is his bank account in order? Like, you're not going to obviously take over his bank account, but you don't want to inherit a bunch of problems from somebody who didn't run their company properly.
Yes.
I just want to point out, guys, that while Laura's answering these questions with incredible specificity and accuracy, she is managing 2 children here, one of whom is literally wanting to run her head into the table, and Laura is like catching Monday, and like I have never seen somebody multitask like this in my life. Laura, you are a phenomenal human being, and it was
Mom
just
reflexes.
your birthday.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
my birthday. I guess this is a nice birthday present for me to be on here.
I'm so grateful to be able to be here beside you today, because happy birthday, sister. I
thank
love
you.
you so much. Everyone, I just love Laura, and you are better than Pace today. Let's say that.
Oh, stop.
Yes.
There's no way.
Carlos, let's see you up here. I want to chat with you real quick, because I know some things, brother. Good to see
Thanks,
you.
Wes.
You've got some things going on in your life. How you doing, man? Come on in, have a seat. What's up?
What's going on, man?
How you been?
Amazing.
What's new in your world?
Everything, man. Life's different every day.
It sure is. So you just recently acquired a Keegley franchise, a Jacksonville franchise. You'd been here for your training.
Yeah.
In the process, you guys closed some deals. I'd love for the hotline audience to get an understanding of what that looks like, because people ask me all the time, you know, what is the process of a Keegley look like? You know, what do we do? Like, do we have to have a store? Do you help us? Like, what took place over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah. So first, we don't need a store. You can run it strictly from your house. It's super simple, and once you learn it, it is a process and a lot of agent outreach. You got to do numbers. If you want numbers, you got to do numbers. So that's the main thing with Keegley is volume. You just got to get out there, get your name out there, and the brand's already there.
Right.
A lot of people know who Keegley is, but who's the man behind Keegley? Who's the woman behind Keegley? If those people aren't doing the right thing, then the Keegley don't go anywhere. So it really comes down to you, your associates, and how you operate your businesses. But the return, I can't even put a number on it.
I'm grateful to be a business partner with you, bro. And it's interesting to watch people. Carlos and his lovely wife Courtney were part of the Astro flipping community, and it's always really neat to see people that are in the Astro community do well enough to become Keegley franchise owners. And then Jameson, as you know, is one of those as well. And many Keegley staff members go off and become Keegley franchise owners as well. So it's just a testimony to the process, a testimony to how it works, and the fact that if you do the work, it'll be very fruitful for you. So I appreciate that you came on here. And guys, if you got deals in Jacksonville, Florida, how do they get a hold of you?
So you can hit me up at 904-529-0689. That's my number. Just text me. I'll save you. If you got deals, let me know. We can work them. If you need help locking one up, gladly run numbers for you, help you submit offers, write contracts. Whatever you guys need out there in the wholesale world, let us know. Jacksonville, all the way to southern Georgia, all the way down to Daytona. We're on the whole coast, all northern Florida. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Good to see you, Carlos.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
That's
man.
so exciting.
And happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much.
We all got to
I
sing to you
appreciate it.
afterwards. So.
Maybe before the show's over, we'll have a big symphony of happy birthday.
Oh, I love that.
I don't know if we're allowed to, the happy birthday song is trademark.
Yeah, it is.
And so if we sing it, they may take this off of YouTube.
Okay, let's not do it. We'll do it after.
You might just be saying that because you don't want us to sing happy birthday to you.
No, I do. It'll be fun. It'll be great.
The mischievous side of me right now is just like, am I willing to risk it?
No, don't risk it.
I'm super willing to risk it. There's a question for you here from Marcellus Wallace.
Sure.
Laura, Pace is open about you being an agent. Well, of course. From your experience, who are the people that can afford houses in upscale areas like Scottsdale? What are their professions mainly?
I feel like this is someone's backing me into a corner of some fair housing issues. So I'm not going to say. Not willing to risk my license for that. But I'm sure we could piece some things together. Let your imagination run
very
wild.
Well answered question there, Laura. I didn't even think about that. But, somebody who has taken an agent's course and done the licensing understands fair housing rules and would never put herself and her license in jeopardy by saying the wrong thing on a show on the internet where thousands of people listen. So Marcellus, that's your answer, buddy.
Sorry about that.
Maybe send her a DM. Actually, don't, because you're gonna probably get the same thing she just said to you, but typed out instead. Let's see what else we got going on here in the chat. Growth Summit, guys. Who was here? Who in the audience here was at Growth Summit? Pretty incredible time. Brent Daniels put on one Fantastic. Heck of an event. Of course, with Brent's energy, it's how would it not be the greatest?
So much fun, so valuable. A lot of people who I've always wanted to see speak, I actually got to. So I love the people that he brought together.
Scott W. has a great question here. He says, what's the best market research data somebody could have that is not too expensive or possibly free to keep your pulse on the market? I love this question. I've got some answers, but Laura, what are your thoughts?
Oh my gosh. To keep a pulse on the market. The easiest thing is to go to a title company and just ask them. They'll give you whatever you want. If you want to know how many active homes are in a specific city, how many homes have sold, how many homes have sold cash, they'll just give it to you. That's all they do. They have someone on staff that actually, that's what they pay attention to. So that would be the easiest, and that's probably where I would go.
I think that's a phenomenal answer, and actually better than the one I was going to give you. But I'm going to give you a metric. I think the title company is the place to go. And a real estate agent could also give you days on market.
Oh, yeah.
Days on market is going to really give you the pulse. That's telling you how long is it taking. Look, if you want to know a person's alive, right? You're looking at the number of beats per minute their heart is going, right? If somebody's beats per minute is 30, they're pretty close to dead, okay? But if their beats per minute is 72, they're doing pretty good. If their beats per minute is like 150, they may need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
So, beats per minute is going to tell you a lot about what's going on in that person's physiology.
Yeah.
Days on market does the same for me. I'm looking at days on market because it tells me the heat of the market.
Yeah.
How long is it taking for a house to sell right now?
Absolutely.
House is sitting 90 to 120, 280 days. That's a cold market, right?
Yeah.
And it means that there's no liquidity there. People aren't really doing stuff. But I absolutely agree with Laura. You can get all of that information from your title company, and title companies will give you, and they spend thousands and thousands of dollars every single week collecting data. And my favorite is Fidelity Title.
Oh, yeah.
I have a great relationship with Fidelity Title. I do a podcast with Dina Jones every other Thursday on my YouTube channel. So, guys, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'm going to take the time right now.
That is such a good show.
You like it?
Yeah, I love it.
I was worried about it because I'm like, title's not sexy,
I like it.
But I feel like we kind of like made it a little cool, right?
It's very cool.
We're just talking about title company things and contracts and like where you can get caught up in a deal. Because like you and I have seen it happen time and time again.
All the time.
Contracts are written sloppily, or people don't understand the intricacies of a contract. They don't know the ways that people can get out of contracts, the way that people can get stuck in contracts. They don't know the way that they can maneuver it through a contract. And that can become the way that a deal blows up in your face.
Yeah, and lose earnest money.
Yeah. Do you have an example of a very interesting story, perhaps, of where a title company or where a contract issue killed a deal?
Oh my gosh, yeah, all the time. I mean, there's so many things. Oh gosh, I could think of 10 million things. Just like 6 things flash through my head. One of them, the first thing is so easy. If you're going to write a purchase contract with a seller, everyone who's on title has to sign and initial that contract. And that's one of the things that I see so many wholesalers make the mistake of. They meet with one seller, they get a signature. It's not a valid contract. And everyone who's on title has to sign it. That's the first thing. Second thing, oh my gosh, I could think of so many things. Not filing a memorandum is bad. And then silly stuff like signing a contract with a seller who needs to go through probate before probate's done. Until they're named the executor of the estate, they actually can't sign your purchase contract, so you'll need to sign one once probate's done. People forget that too, and that's really easy for a seller to go around you and you lose the whole deal. So there's so many things, like weird little goofy things like that.
Incredible information there, Laura. JB Adkins asked, when is season 3 coming? JB, there is a man named Brad Holcman, BRADHOLCAM. You can find him on Facebook. I suggest all 600 of you that are watching right now, send him a DM and say, Brad, when is season 3 coming? We all want to know.
True. Yeah. Everyone blow up Brad.
Blow up Brad. Again, that's Brad Holcman.
Yeah.
You can find him on Facebook. He wants to connect with you. He's actually doing deals personally himself in North Carolina right now. So if you also got a deal in North Carolina, make sure you are sending him some houses. Yes. Selling Sunset. Do you watch that show?
I do. I love it.
I love it too. It's like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and real estate all put together.
They live a totally different world than I do. But it's so fascinating because there's some things that they do that I'm like, oh, that's a version of what I do. But a version.
Yes.
A version.
Yeah,
a version.
I mean, like, who doesn't love gorgeous women, gorgeous men, gorgeous homes, gorgeous cars, gorgeous lifestyles, and craziness and drama? Like, I mean, it makes for all the best television you could possibly consume. But yes, if you guys are wanting to meet a couple of Selling Sunset superstars, Heather El Musa and Mary and Romaine, actually, one of the beautiful dudes on the show, make sure you guys come to the Flipping Summit. Again, that's theflippingsummit.com. Theflippingsummit.com. It's happening this weekend, and we'd love to see you, meet you there, and hang out. And you can ask them all, how crazy is Christine really?
I don't think she is. I think it's just her character. It's her character.
I don't know.
All right, we're going to find out.
We're going to find out for sure. I don't know how much trouble that's going to get me in right now. If she might even show up at the Flipping Summit and kick me right in the junk.
Well,
Christine, if you're watching this right now,
He was kidding.
I'm not. I think you're batshit crazy. I believe you. I'm sorry. I think you're nuts. I don't know. Maybe I'm just maybe it's, I don't know.
That's a hot take. We can tell from the audience that's here.
Oh man, it's funny because we share a publicist, so I'm sure gonna be hearing about this one in a little while. Gosh, Jamil, what is the matter with me?
Any attention's good attention.
Any
for
attention's
her.
good attention. Yes.
Yeah. Even negative attention.
Put your questions in the chat, guys. Love to hear your thoughts. Here is a question from Charles Madden. It is suggested to work with other wholesalers, or is it suggested to work with other wholesalers, and what logistics roughly? And do we write the contract? Laura, you and I have done tons of JVs together. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts?
So if you own the contract and I'm buying something from Keegley, I'm buying it from Jamil. Jamil will send me what's called an assignment contract. So he already has the contract written. It's negotiated. The terms are done. He's marking it up for his fee, and he will send me what he requires of me. And the reason why I let him do it is because he'll put the close of escrow date, who title and escrow is with, how much earnest money he wants from me. Is it hard? Do I have an inspection period? All those things are his terms that I'm agreeing to, so I will not be writing it. I love working with wholesalers. It's free. They've already done all the cold calling. They've already done all the direct mail. They've already done all the seller. I don't have to negotiate with them. I don't have to do any of that. It's done. It's so easy. It's free. Going to a Keegley and getting a deal is free. You just have to comp.
Y'all buy deals from us all the time.
Yeah, I love it.
It happens daily.
Corbin, Michelle.
AG's question here. AG, I like the question. My answer may not be your favorite, but I'm gonna say it. What's the best way to get deals when there's so many people in the industry calling the same leads? What are your thoughts about that question, Laura?
Oh my gosh. I actually encourage a lot of people, if they don't like, or if their market where they live is too small, or they don't like their area, to come and do deals in Phoenix. And why would I do that? I'm just creating more competition for us because there's so much money to be made. It doesn't matter if there's so many people calling. If you're calling on like the pre-foreclosure list and you know that a seller is getting 30, 40, 50 calls that same day and you're number 31, I don't care because I know I can help them. I want that. I'm hungry. I'm going to go after it. I'm not going to get discouraged just because you have competition. And guess what? If you have competition, you know that there's some end buyers there, that there's people that want Airbnbs, they want fix and flips, they want long-term holds. So it's all good stuff.
I love that response, Laura. I always tell people, I love playing in traffic because I know I'm going to get hit.
Yeah, true.
That's what's up. I'm going to play in traffic because I know I'm going to get hit. And that's the thing. Look, AG, I'm telling you this, brother, that's a limited mindset, right? You are living in lack. That question right now is living in lack. It's a fear-based question. And I'm telling you, we are in the most competitive market for wholesale in the entire industry. And we all thrive.
100%.
We all thrive here.
Yeah.
What do you have to add to that?
So I went through this.
Okay.
Not that long ago.
Okay.
Within 6 months. Mind you, my life is blown up in 6 months, so I took this belief out. If there's a lot of people in your market, there's a lot of deals to be done. Not every deal is your deal, but the ones that happen to you, those are your deals.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter how many bids are in there. If you put the right energy across that phone, talk to the real estate agent or the seller the right way, get on their level, mirror that person, get the fear out of your head, you're going to close the deal.
Yeah.
Brother, that is absolutely
That's it.
Phenomenal advice.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Carlos.
I had
You're
to
the
say
man,
that.
bro.
I
Yeah, you're
love
right,
that.
man. You're right. Matt, one. Yeah, come in and we'll have you come on.
How many times have we competed?
All the time.
Do we both eat? Do we both have food on our table?
Yes.
Yeah.
In
It's
fact,
fine.
it's so it's like we've competed. In fact, us competing is what led us to a television show.
To the TV show. Yep.
So, like, I'm telling you, you don't know what the world has in store for you. You never know how things are going to turn out. Why put your limited mind in the mind of the creator? I'm telling you, you don't understand. Your world will match your energy. That's how life works. If you are negative, if you are fear-based, you will get that. You will get that. If you are expecting stuff not to work out for you, my friend, it will not work out for you. But if you wake up every single day and you are grateful and you expect the world to give you exactly what you need to help you make it through and give you, and if you keep hope in your heart and you know that you deserve, that you are worthy of a life that is great, that has abundance in it, my friend, you will live in abundance.
He needs a couple affirmations. Let's give him an affirmation.
I think here's the thing: what I don't like about affirmations.
Why?
Because people say affirmations and they don't feel them.
Okay.
I don't think the energy of the universe is speech. I think that's just people talk so much crap.
Okay.
Right? I think you can even look at yourself in the mirror and say things and not believe it. And if you don't believe it, you're not feeling it. And if you're not feeling it, you're not drawing it to you. Do you know, I learned something when I was on this retreat, that the brain and the heart, the neurons of the brain and the heart, they're completely flipped around from what you actually would think. Did you know that there's 80% of the neurons between the brain and the heart go from the heart to the brain, not the brain to the heart? But you would think the central processing unit of the human, which is our brain,
our computer,
our computer would have 80% of the neurons controlling the heart, but it's going the other way. The heart's controlling the brain. Mm-hmm. So if the heart's controlling the brain and your heart is an electromagnetic field, it generates an electromagnetic field, meaning that if your heart is pumping and it's putting out a beautiful emotion like Corbin right now, she drew her mom to her. See how that works? You see how that works? It is absolutely that way. Matthew, what do you have to add to that, bro?
I just wanted to share too, like you could position yourself anywhere in a deal. Like I got a deal from 2 wholesalers that were JVing. They fit me in as a third partner in the JV. I sold it to another wholesaler who sold it to another wholesaler who sold it to another wholesaler who finally got it to the end buyer. Yeah. So regardless of what market you're in, there's always room to be able to do deals. You just got to position yourself with people that either have the deals or know the buyers.
Well said, bro. Come on in. I want
to say.
Thank you, bro. That's absolutely phenomenal advice. Come on, have a seat. About Real Estate has a question. As a realtor, how exactly do you work with investors who approach with sub-2 deals and creative financing? How do you get commissions? I'm going to let Laura answer that question, and then we will hear from our new friend.
Sorry about that. Okay, so it depends on if you want to represent yourself as a buyer or you are representing a buyer who wants to buy it creative, or if you're listing it and you want to market it as a creative finance opportunity. So I don't know exactly what you mean, but you would want to, you can take a commission as a listing agent. You can take a commission if you negotiate a creative finance deal for a property that's already listed. You can get a buyer's agent commission. And if it's not listed and you still want to take a commission, you can take an assignment fee. You can call your commission whatever it is. You know, you can call it an assignment fee. And you see for wholesale transactions all the time, if you look at a few HUDs, if you're a wholesaler, you look at 5, you'll probably on at least one of those, there will be a line item on there paying a real estate brokerage, which is paying a realtor's commission. So realtors get paid commission. Doesn't have to be on market. It can be off market. You can make money however you want. Everything's negotiable. You can negotiate yourself a $50,000 commission on a creative finance deal. You can essentially chop it up a million different ways. So long story short, it's negotiable either side that you're representing.
Love it. Hi, Monday. What do you have to say about that? She says, stop living in fear. There's so many deals out there. What's going on, homie?
What's up, brother?
Talk to us. Tell us what's going on.
I wanted to actually jump in on the competitive market because I know a lot of people, actually a couple of people reach out to me and they're like, well, dude, because I'm cold calling in Phoenix and I call about 6 hours a day.
That is, I mean, I'm telling you, again, Phoenix is one of the most competitive markets in the entire country, and you're going direct to seller, bro.
Yes.
That's hard. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, and Jamil, you guys call the Phoenix market the mecca of wholesale, right?
It is.
Everything started here.
Yep.
So I had a couple of people reaching out to me, and I want to give a perfect example when it comes to, oh my God, it's extremely competitive. A lot of people are calling these sellers. I had a lady that I called in, and it was an older lady, and she said, I've received about 25 phone calls, or I've spoke to 25 people, but I really like your voice. Come over. Older lady, guys, older lady.
So you didn't FaceTime her because you are a good-looking man. So I would, maybe she was like, "Come on over, let's see what you got, handsome." But I mean, it was just your tone, it was your confidence, it was how you put yourself out there that attracted the deal.
Absolutely, and I believe that there's one person out there, guys, that are looking to hear the message about wholesaling from you. Okay, they're waiting for you. They're waiting for your phone call. Oh my God, yes, this is the person. I like his voice. and I want to hear about it. So guys, don't worry about competition. It's about timing, and it's about going with the right tonality and the right attitude. The deals will
And
come.
consistency.
And consistency.
So you
Show
said
up
you're
every
going
day.
at 6 hours a day. What list are you using right now?
I am cold calling absentee owner here in Phoenix,
Okay.
high equity, and they recorded the purchase recorded 20 years ago.
Got it. So lots of equity in the house. Absentee owner meaning so that they've got a separate mailing address
Correct. Yep.
from the actual address, guys.
Yep.
That's called an absentee owner. Means that they're getting mail so that they can see what's going on for taxes and whatnot. It's going somewhere else so that that's an absentee owner. And that possibly means that they're a landlord, right? That they're renting the house out.
100%.
And they've owned it for 20 years or more.
20 plus,
so this would you call that a tired landlord or a possible tired landlord or an old landlord?
Absolutely. And most of the houses would definitely need some love. So this is a list that I believe
Okay,
had
walk us through your last deal.
no deal yet.
Okay. Well, look, your deal is coming. Your deal is coming. How long have you been doing it for?
So I've been doing this for 24 days exactly. I'm documenting everything on Instagram.
Yes.
Yes.
Documenting on Instagram.
I'm documenting everything on Instagram. And actually, I've already been to 4 seller appointments myself in this competitive market.
So what happened on those appointments? What did you learn on the 4 deals that you didn't get the contract on, but you got the appointment? Because that's like 90% of the work. What did you learn that you could have done differently in those so that next time possibly you land on them? What would you change?
So I should have better pre-qualified him. Now, I'm happy that I went on that seller appointment because I believe when I see the person face-to-face, I have bigger chance to negotiate the deal and then close the deal. But 2 out of these 4 were not fully motivated to sell that property. On the other 4, the other 2, I mean, honestly, Jamil, what I learned was just, I'm not stressed at all. It's very exciting to be here, but honestly, it's just.
Would you qualified them on the phone maybe before and
just better pre-qualification and ask a better question, because I went on one of the appointments and the guy on the phone said, I'm very motivated to sell. The house needs a lot of love. He's asking $60,000 over ARV on a fixed property.
Right.
I'm like, well, there's really nothing much you can say, but huge lessons there. And then Brent says constantly, pre-qualify, go through the pillars and pre-qualify.
Right. And if you had gotten a number out of them on the phone, you would have seen that he's 60,000 out, would have given you an opportunity to call the man back and say, look, I'd love to come and meet you, but looking at the number that you're expecting for your house and looking at where the market is and where things are kind of selling right now, there's no way, because you said the house needs love. There's just no way this house sells at this price. Now, sir, I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time. I just don't see it. I don't see this happening. Maybe I can refer you to a real estate agent who can give you an opinion on it. But I would really, I love that advice. And Brent says it all the time when you're going direct to seller, use the 4 pillars, right? Make sure that you are pre-qualifying, get an understanding, and also ask them what are you going to do once you sell this property? What are your plans? Right? What that'll tell you the motivation. That'll say, look, we got to go. We're relocating. We've got this happening in our life, or somebody's sick in another state and we got to all move, whatever that is. My kid's going to college and I'm scared that they're going to get pregnant, so I'm going to move there with them. I don't know. Whatever the reason is. Right. What is the reason that parents and people move?
That's not something you're thinking about.
No, my children would never get pregnant. They're both girls, so it's very likely to happen, but not on my watch and not in my house. And that's all I got to say about that. So Hungry Highway said, man, I don't know what's coming out of my mouth today. Where are they seeing all of these comments? Hungry Highway. First, my favorite game as a child was Hungry Hippo, so I appreciate this. But they're seeing the comments on the different YouTube channels that we're all streaming in from. So Wholesale Hotline is brought to you on Pace's YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, and Brent Daniels' YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to all 3, you're doing yourself a disservice. We all have different perspectives on the market. We all do different things. Give us all a subscribe and check it out. And Laura's YouTube as well. Laura, what's your YouTube channel?
Just Laura Morby.
But
honestly, you got to follow PB&J because they're here every week for free. Deserve it.
And also, Laura, because you're here for, who's paying you? What do they pay you? Because if I'm here for free, they better not be paying you.
I get to be married to Pace and
You
live
get
in
to
his
be
house.
yes.
I get cute babies, so get paid in babies.
All the beautiful things. It's no, this is not pre-recorded about real estate.
That's
this is
funny.
not. It's hilarious. This is a live stream. We are here in real life and answering your questions.
And
Incredible.
a live studio audience too.
There's a question about the snake. Yes, and a live studio audience. Here, guys, give it up so they know this is a live show. Come on now. If you haven't already, hit the like. There, look at that. Look at that. That's and that's only half, I think, right? There's a no. That's all of it.
Yeah.
If you have not already hit the like button, do it, because that's what you pay for tuning into this incredible information. You give us a like so that the algorithm knows that people like what we are putting out there, and we can spread the word. We can have more people in the chat. Guys, I can't tell you how many people have squatted up with each other in the chat and have done deals with one another. It's a phenomenal way to connect, to build community, to do deals. You can meet sub-2 students, you meet Astro students, you meet TTP students in the chat, and everybody has different qualities. Everybody has got something that they are good at that you can learn from. So why not? You know, why not be there? Why not like it? Why not be on everybody's channel and be squatting up?
Mark and I are happy birthday twins.
No doubt.
Yeah, April 22nd, just like me.
Oh.
Birthday, Mark.
Mark, that's awesome. I guess there's a question here about the snake infestation.
Yeah.
So wait, if you have a snake infestation, the only way to get rid of them is to kill them. Otherwise, the snakes return to the nest. Laura.
I didn't want to talk about how we took care of it because I figured there'd be someone who loves animals. Because every time we have to kill bees, everyone gets so mad. And I'm like, if we could save those bees, we would have. The same thing with snakes. They had to die. I'm sorry, everybody.
Oh, the snakes had to die. But you know what? You could put them on a plane and see what happens then.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, I mean, relocate them to a plane and see if you would have preferred them dead or not.
Yeah.
That's the answer to that. Guys, put your questions in the chat. I do want to give a quick shout out to my team. We are putting on a challenge. It's coming up here. I'm going to give you guys the dates of the challenge if you want to come to it. We're going to who's familiar with the movie Jumanji?
Oh, me.
Yeah. So Jumanji, one of my favorite movies. It's real life. Like, holy crap! What are we gonna do now? Mm-hmm. Right? Like, we're in the jungle, we're in the weeds. The entire world that was not alive is now alive, and we're seeing things that we've never seen before. How do we get out there and get things done? That's why we called it the Jumanji Challenge. Go to www.winjumanji.com. The challenge is May 31st through June 1st from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Again, I'm going to put that on the comments here so you guys can go to the winjumanji.com and come hang out for a couple of days with myself, and we'll help you navigate the crazy world of real estate Jumanji. I love the names that we come up with these.
They're perfect.
Pace got the Elephant Challenge. And, you know, it's interesting. Pace's Elephant Challenge comes from because there's so much in real estate. It's like, you know, it's like the size of an elephant. So how do you eat an elephant? You eat it bit by bit, right?
Yeah,
and so
one bite at a time.
Yeah. So he calls it the Elephant Challenge because it's like it's going to be so big that there's always going to be a bite to eat.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So these names are fun, guys, but they're really there to help you guys understand the world of real estate. Tristan, come on up here. A friend of ours just walked in here, a sub-2 student, also a fellow mindset engineer like myself, who is doing great things out there. How are you, bro? Great to see you. Have a seat.
Thank you.
Tristan, how are things in your business right now? You're flipping houses. You are buying sub-2 creative deals. Any wholesale?
Yeah, some wholesale.
Tell us about what's going on.
So end of last year, obviously, I had a couple of single-digit flips unexpectedly, but the win was that we bought the house at the right price so we could make money at the end. This year, focusing on wraps, buying properties that hopefully have some equity and some cash flow, but if they don't, we're looking to wrap those. And just working with some more people, building more relationships, and working on mindset and the peaceful millionaire process.
That's for real. So Matthew, Ferry, and I are doing a prosperity and peace event in June, actually, where, you know, it's being a millionaire. So many people think you got to kick doors down, cheat people, and be a piece of crap to do it. It's not true. You can do it with absolute peace. You can do it with ethics. And you can do it in a way that where the world kind of flows in a very nice and interesting and very synchronistic way. And it's heartfelt. It's real. Like, I mean, I live this. I'm in the embodiment of this. Matthew Ferry, who I originally put me into this world of mindset and thinking in that way. You and I both, I think you might have met Matthew through
your webinar.
Through my webinar with him.
Ago, yeah.
And it's been a phenomenal time, right? Would you say that living in that way, has it made you more prosperous?
Absolutely.
Like, talk about that if you wouldn't mind.
So, Matthew has a book called Quiet Mind, Epic Life. I think that's really the foundation of where all of the prosperity and the peace comes from.
What does that mean, quiet mind? What does that mean?
Great question. So there's people that talk about the lizard brain, the monkey mind. Matthew calls it the drunk monkey. And it's this voice in your head that's the doubt. It's the seed of, the ego that tells you not to do things, the thing that gives you the bad feeling. And it's the thing that desists you from doing things. And the drunk monkey is what is going to hold you back. It's going to hold you back from a point of humble, greed, being scarcest, many of these areas. And there's 10 hidden motives to survive that we're familiar with. And it's a way of becoming at peace with the world. However the world is, that is the world right now.
And like your world, not just the world, but your specific world, because believe it or not, there's how many people in the world right now? 8 billion, 9 billion? What do you think it really is?
Yeah.
And I would say that there's 9 billion worlds out there. We're all living in our own one. And we're all having a different experience of it, right? And so understanding that and really, really knowing that even though there are 9 billion worlds, we're all connected. Every one of us is doing our best. Mm-hmm. Every one of us is trying. Even if someone's best isn't your standard, that is not an opportunity for you to judge. That is an opportunity for you to provide love and compassion for that person's situation, regardless of how it is affecting you. You gotta have a bigger heart, bigger mindset, and bigger way. Walk us through your last deal, if you would, Tristan, to help people understand what an embodiment of a peaceful millionaire looks like. That's not me.
Sure. So my last deal that closed was last Thursday. We did a wrap. We worked with a buyer in North Phoenix. It was a JV, and Jamil talking about getting the chats, getting the comments. That's where my relationships come from. And it was a student that needed some help getting it closed, getting it under contract. He had really done the lion's share of the work. And it was a case where there was a HELOC, which had been locked in to be an amortized loan in second position to a primary mortgage. We then seller financed the rest of the equity. And it even changed during the process. It was a guy in a wheelchair, really great guy, and wanted 30 grand up front instead of 20. So he gave us a discount of 15,000 so he could get an extra 10 up front. And we wrapped it and we sold it to an investor that I met at one of my flip walks. So we found a home for somebody that doesn't have W-2 income, was looking to move in from wherever it was in Surprise or Verada or wherever it was that he lived.
Yep, that's like Buckeye.
Yeah.
Buckeye-ish, yeah.
And our guys, he needed the extra 10,000 to prepare his house for his wheelchair where he's moving in California. And we got it sold, and Eileen and Gayla's team took care of the business,
That is so phenomenal. And like, you serve the community in every way, right? You got a person who couldn't qualify but could make the payments.
Yeah.
You helped the person who wasn't able to sell their house be able to get cash out of the deal, where like they might have had to come to the closing table with money.
Absolutely.
Now this person has money to actually fit their home for a wheelchair accessibility situation, which is phenomenal. You're making money in the deal.
Yep.
Gosh, like, isn't it beautiful how the world can be so win-win?
Yeah.
Win-win-win. It's like, but again, this is just how you think. It's how you see. Mm-hmm. It's truly the way that you see things. And I highly recommend that if you are living in lack in any way, here's what I'll say. Right now, if the world you're living in is if you'd rather be living in a different situation, okay, if the amount of money that you have in your bank, if the relationship you have in your life, if your relationship you have with yourself isn't what it should be, if it is directly reflecting what is happening inside of you right now. Mm-hmm. Your outward world is a direct reflection of what is happening to you or what you are thinking and feeling today. Know that. That's exactly what it is showing you. It is, if you are living in lack right now, if you're like, I can't make my rent payment, that's because you are in such survival. You are living in so much fear. You're so scared. And it's okay. There's no judgment here. I've been there. I lived in that. I've absolutely lived like that before. And it was hard. And I had to really change the way I thought before I got to a place where life got easier. But it doesn't mean that it's going to be perfect. I mean, you guys are rich AF, but you still, everybody's got problems. Like, you still got to deal with stuff every day, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's not like it's ever going to be a cakewalk, but you've got to be able to have peace through all of it and enjoy every moment of it, because gosh, you know, so many every day I get up and I look at Facebook and I see people, and someone's memorializing their mother or father or a friend or a business partner. And you can feel it in the words that they write, just how sad they are that they didn't take the opportunity to tell that person they love them, that they weren't the best person that they could have been to that person in that moment or the day before or whatever it was. So I just want everybody to think about that, like, don't think that tomorrow's promised, because it surely ain't. So, be a good human being.
And one of the great things that I've taken from this is just being at peace with any situation, whether it's lack of money, lack of business, lack of motivation. It's a teaching of being at peace in every situation, because as we hear, breakdown is the beginning of breakthrough, and it's learning where those troughs in the hill is, to make sure that you can now see the next crest.
Yeah, it's real,
and help rise up to that.
I can say that in the hardest parts of my life, what led up to it was probably the worst thinking of my life, the worst feeling of my life. And then I found myself in the hardest situations of my life, and I'm like, holy crap, how did I get here? And I can just trace it back. Well, you did this, you felt this happened, da-da-da. It's like, I guess I did put myself here, didn't I?
Yeah.
You ever experienced that in your world? I'm sure.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't want to get personal, but
no, it's fine. I can get a little bit personal. Pace honestly has changed my mind. He just thinks so differently than anyone I've ever met. And so someone who we're really close to is constantly going through something, constantly miserable. Something's happening at work. Something's happening in the relationship. Something's happening with the kids. Something. It's always something every single day. And one day Pace said she is choosing this. She's everything in her life, everything in your life is a choice. Whether you like to admit it or not, it's true. And I'm not saying that bad things don't happen to good people, like sickness, death, things like that, poverty. Those are all really bad things. But how you choose to react to them, how you choose to if you choose just to lay in bed and feel sorry for yourself and complain and get nasty and bitter and hateful towards everybody is a choice. And if you choose instead to keep going and move on and lead with hope and love, then you can create a whole new reality despite all of the horrible things that are being thrown your way. And the same thing goes for like mediocrity. Like I think we've all seen that thing on Instagram that floats around every couple of months that says, being overweight is hard, or working out every day is hard. Choose your hard. Being broke is hard, and budgeting and sticking not buying the things and doing the things that you want is hard. Choose your hard. And so everything's a choice, whether you like to admit it or not. And so, yeah. We're in our choose your own adventure book.
I know.
Life is a choose your own adventure book.
It absolutely is. And every day, also, what's interesting is that you can look at every day like a lifetime. Every single day should feel like a lifetime. And like, did you do your absolute best? And if you did die today, would you have been proud of your day? Would you have looked at it and said, I sure as heck didn't waste it?
Step over nobody.
So JS says, what do you say when you cold call cash buyers to build your list and tell them that you're a wholesaler? How do you let them know that you're valuable and so that they respect you for finding deals? Well, first and foremost, cash buyers, here's the thing. For the most part, you got to understand what type of cash buyer you're looking for, right? Is this buy and hold cash buyer? is this fix and flip cash buyer? Either way, for the most part, many cash buyers that I know don't have the time to go out and source their own opportunities. They're busy doing the business that they've chosen, right? The fix and flippers I know, they don't even really open emails from wholesalers. They want to be called. They want to be texted. They want deals curated. They want to be brought opportunities that'll make sense for them. And so how do you add value? You don't waste their time. So you say to the cash buyer, look, I'm not going to waste your time sending you stuff that you may or may not want. I'm not going to flood you with like crap stuff. Tell me your buy box. Let me ask you some questions. What are you looking for? What kind of deals do you want? I want to be able to curate opportunities. That's what a good wholesaler does. And then the other part is, look, the other thing I want to let you know is I'm really good at my numbers. I'm not going to overinflate ARVs. I'm going to make sure my comps are recent. I'm going to make sure I follow Jamil's appraisal rules. Maybe they won't know who I am, but you at least tell them that you think like an appraiser. At least tell them that you understand the way appraisers think, so that when you're doing your ARVs, you understand what that person is going to go through when they sell that property. Put yourself in their shoes. That shows them that you have empathy. That shows them that you care about how they're going to be able to exit that property and how they're going to be able to make money. Yeah. That person's going to respect you because you've taken the time to put in the investment of time and energy and work in learning how to comp and learning how to understand value and learning those processes. If you are not yet good at comping, I do a show every other Sunday on my YouTube channel. It's called Straight Outta Comping. I comp people's houses and I show you how to do it. And I do it for free again. I show it to you. Like, this is how I'm going to value this house. This is why this ARV is this. This is why it's not this. This is why I can't use this number over here, because this house is a 2-story and we have a single story. Or we have, our house is 1,500 square feet and this comp is 2,000 square feet. And why can't we just use the dollar per square foot and multiply that out? There's reasons. And these appraisers, they use these reasons to justify the way that value is determined. So guys, if you are not good at that, then check it out on my YouTube channel. I'd love to have you guys watch that as often as possible.
Yeah.
Laura, is it true? I don't know what this will say. Laura, is it true that you can roll your closing costs into your loan?
Depends. So you can, it depends. It depends. I'm not a lender, but it depends. And what kind of loan are you getting? Are you getting a hard money loan? Are you getting a traditional mortgage? Are you getting an FHA loan? Are you doing something like a government program with down payment assistance? What are you doing? I don't know. Sorry, I feel bad for him. He's asked me 2 questions and I haven't given him any good answers.
I think that was a great answer because it wasn't a specific question, right? It was a broad question, and so there's a broad answer for that. So I wouldn't feel any way about that, Laura. In the life of Anna says, does Keegley negotiate creative deals or just cash? It depends on the Keegley office. Every franchise or corporate, it really depends on where they're focusing their buyers list. Are their buyers buying creative deals or not? And so I would just have a conversation. And if you don't know of a Keegley in your area, send me a DM. I'm in my DMs, but I also have people helping me out. As you can imagine, I do get hundreds, maybe thousands of them. And I can't get to all of them, but we will respond. And so if you need to be connected to a Keegley in your area, I'd love to help you out. All right. So, by the way, guys, if you are struggling to find EMD for your deals, Pace has this incredible community of people. They're called Gator lenders. They will actually come into your deal and they'll put money up. They'll put your EMD up for you. Of course, the reason why it's called Gator lending is because they'll chomp. They're going to take a bite out of your deal. But hey, you couldn't have put that deal together because you didn't have the money for it. So if you are not familiar with Gator lending, guys, make sure that you are utilizing them if you do not have money for EMD. If you do not have money for EMD or other things, Gator lenders are also giving people money for down payments. If they're doing creative deals, it's really all just a way to help people out that might be cash strapped. Next, I want to bring on one of the trainer bros. I got one seat here. I'd love to hear from.
Let me give a seat.
Okay.
Bring them both up.
Come on, trainers. Tristan,
Thanks,
good to see you.
Good to see you.
Love you, bro. Trainers, how's it going, guys?
What's up, brother?
How you doing?
Amazing.
Great to see you.
How you doing?
So I've been, obviously in your world for a long time. These are 2 astro flipping phenomenons. How's things? I know y'all are kind of switching things up a little bit. Well, I'll let you say it. What's going on?
I think here in Phoenix, things are picking back up. The last 2 deals we just did, they sold at 74% of ARV.
And
kinda-
walk us through those. Like, how did it go? How'd you get the deal? What did you make? Tell me about it.
So one of the deals, off market from an agent, I was bidding actually against another wholesaler.
Okay.
And the wholesaler actually texted me the address, and he's like, and I call him right away. I'm like, bro, I'm like the one bidding against you. We both go out to the property, both offer, but like we signed this is the cool thing about like the competition thing. Like he was just down to do the deal either way if one of us got the deal.
Nice. So you guys actually collaborated.
Yeah, they were bidding each other up.
That's what Pace and I did once, and then we just said, "This is stupid. Let's just do it together." How did you guys work that out?
They were bidding each other up, and then they were just like, "Yo, let's just do this together." And then they went out there. Then we both dropped the price, so we got at a better deal. So it like made the most sense right there. Then everyone won on it. Yeah.
Okay, so everybody won. What was the win?
We made 11,700. So did the wholesaler, and we did the deal with you.
Hey,
Yeah.
I made money too.
Yeah.
Come on, baby. Where's the bell? I'm gonna ring that bell. You ring that bell. And guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna ring the bell for me because I've never rang this bell for myself on this damn show. And you ring the bell as well. That's awesome. That's actually true. I don't think I've ever rang the bell for myself on this show because I've never promoted the fact that I, made money wholesaling on the show because it's about you guys. It's about what you all are doing. But it's fun when we get to make money together.
We did another one too this month. So Dylan, tell them about
So
that one.
that was just like an agent off market deal. They just wanted it, just something easy to happen. That one actually sold at like 75% too. It was like sold at 295. ARV was only 400, so like there wasn't even that much spread. But that was just another agent off market deal. They didn't want to deal with the headache of listing it, and buyer took both these deals sight unseen. So
Damn.
Things are like popping again here in Phoenix.
Wow. Holy serendipity. Isn't it crazy what question I put up before you even said that? And you didn't even read what this question said. Wow. Chelsea's art blog, which everybody check out Chelsea's art blog if you haven't yet. I don't know what Chelsea's art blog is, but is it art or is it a blog or is it both? Are there words or are they pictures or is it both? I'm really curious now. So check out Chelsea's art blog if you haven't already because it's a great name. So Chelsea's art blog said, when do we let the buyers see the properties after they deposit earnest money at the title company or before? For me, I will actually, if I can, I'll let a buyer see a property. Now, that's not to say that there's not some super hot deals where stuff gets really complicated and really competitive. And if that happens and you've got buyers that are willing to say, hey, look, I just want to take the house. I've seen the pictures. I trust the house. I trust you. I want to take it sight unseen. I'm going to communicate that to my other buyers and say, look, they're going to take it sight unseen. So unfortunately, that person's going to get the deal. And so what I will do, though, if somebody who calls me first and says, hey, I really like this, I really want this, I just need to see it, and then somebody calls me and says, hey, I'll take it sight unseen, I will give the first person the opportunity to take it sight unseen because that person called me first. And I just think that that's the right thing to do. Just for me as a wholesaler, I will tell the person, hey, who says, hey, I'll take it sight unseen, I'll say, give me a moment. I had another guy who said he wanted it. I'm not going to bid you guys up, but I'm just going to do the fair thing. I'm going to do the right thing. I like to play that. I like to be that person. I believe in ethics in this business model. I think the more ethical that you are in this business model, the more business you will do. People will respect you. They will respect the fact that you care about their business, that you care about how things are done. I'll tell you what, this is a repeat business game. This is not a one and done situation. You have to walk into every deal like you are going to make a friend on both sides of the equation there, right? You want to if I want to make a friend with the agent who brought me a deal, so they'll bring me more deals. I want to make a friend with the buyer who's going to buy that deal so that they're going to keep doing business with me. Relationships win the game. I did not get into the position that I'm in, sitting in this chair right now on Wholesale Hotline as one of the owners of a nationally franchised wholesale operation because I didn't build relationships. I did it because of relationships. This didn't come from being a transactional human being. So keep that in mind, guys. It's really important, especially if you want longevity in this. Because I'll tell you what, my relationships got me through COVID. when people were scared to buy houses back in 2020 and we had like 60 people on staff and it was scary and we had payroll to make, but like nobody was allowed to leave the house. Like, what do you do? Right. But we had houses under contract and we had relationships with buyers who still wanted to buy. And so my relationships actually now every one of those buyers did so damn good buying those houses because everybody knows what happened to housing prices during COVID, that people called me after the fact and said, Jamil, thank goodness for you. You made me so much damn money. I'm so glad I picked up your phone call. What else you got? And that's just how it works, you know? So keep building those relationships, guys. It will win you the game every single time. Again, if you're not following Laura Morby's YouTube, she's just at youtube.com/Laura Morby.
I was going to say about relationships too. It's like everyone's so focused on just like the quick money and like, oh, I need to get this deal, I need to get it. But like they don't look long term because like the agents that you're doing deals with, the buyers, like 10 years down the road, why are you still not doing deals with them? Like you don't want to just be focused on that like quick money right away because like look at it long term. What's going to actually make you benefit the most? Absolutely
agree, man. I couldn't have said it better myself. Lath has a question here. It says, question. I yelled it because he put an exclamation mark after question. I don't know if writing out question and then putting an because it's punctuation in both ways, but you wrote out a punctuation and then you punctuated the punctuation, which is really meta. But anyways, question. I was buying a truck yesterday, and the guy that was selling it had a house he was selling that isn't listed. How do I go about wholesaling it, or how do I know if it's worth it? Lath, phenomenal question. Also, phenomenal hair, dude. You got a great do on you, Lath. So here's what I would do. If you don't know how to qualify a deal or understand value, I would reach out to somebody in the comments. I would squat up with people. Look, this community is incredible. There is not snake. We don't have snakes in the grass. And when we find them, guess what we do? We do what Laura does. We kill them. We get them out. People don't snake deals in this community. We don't do it to each other. We just don't do it. You get blacklisted. You get poo-pooed out. People don't want to do business with you. Your name will precede you in very many ways. So that doesn't happen. Lath, what I would say is squat up, reach out, say to people, hey, I'm in this market, like in the chat right now, I'm in this market. I've got a deal available, or I got somebody who wants to sell. Who wants to help me comp it? Who wants to help me see if it's worth it? That's how I would approach that situation, Lath, so that you can make a friend, squat up, learn a skill, and possibly get some money. Anybody else in the audience want to come up and say hi and talk about what they're doing in their business? Please feel free to come up.
Could I touch on something quick?
Please do.
I just want to touch on like the competition. I think it's a myth because like they say Phoenix is like the most competitive market, but like just even in this room, I'm working on a deal with Matthew Justice. I'm working on one with Tristan.
We got
Carter's one of our buyers
right
who's like we're lining up a deal with. These are wholesalers I've sent deals to. We're doing deals with you, or it's just like Heidi I'm working on deals with. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's connectivity.
Yeah.
It's connectivity. It's a mindset. Again, I can't stress it enough. You can come from a place of abundance. You can come from a place of connectivity. You can come from a place of we can all win, or you can come from a place of either I win or you win, right? This life is not a zero-sum game. If you make it a zero-sum game, it'll be a zero-sum game. If you make it a win-win, it'll be a win-win. Dakota Edward asked, how do I get a contract signed if I live in another state? Via email? Dakota, there's a lot of software out there, one of them called DocuSign, where you can actually upload it into their whatever service, and then it'll just electronically sign it. So I would look into that. I would look into, or HelloSign. There's so many different solutions. What are you guys using for electronic signatures?
Just like the agent sends a DocuSign or AuthentiSign.
Yep.
Yeah. So lots of ways to skin that cat. Also, guys, look at how beautiful Laura is. Guys, if you haven't already, go to winjumanji.com. Don't lose the game, man. Learn the game from the man himself, me, because I'm the only one of the three actual hosts here, so I'm going to call myself the man today. But learn it from me on this challenge, www.winjumanji.com. Love to hang out with you for a couple of days. It'll be a tremendous amount of value. If you have gotten value from tonight's episode. Imagine what hanging out for 2 days will look like in a challenge where we dive into the weeds and we get it. Like right now, I'm just answering questions, but we like dive into the weeds and like show you how to do stuff, show you how we like, what are we doing to find deals? What are we doing to find buyers? And if what we were talking about at all with respect to mindset interested you, if you're thinking about how do I be a peaceful millionaire? How do I have prosperity and peace in my heart at the same time? Because there's a myth that that's not doable. I'd love to meet you. And we are going to be at a retreat that we're doing. I just came back from a 7-day retreat in June. We're going to be doing another one here. And it is at matthewferry.com/PPP. And it's not PPP loans because we don't do PPP loans. It's matthewferry.com/PPP-2023. And you can sign up and hang out with us in June. It will be a phenomenal opportunity for you to come and start thinking like a peaceful and prosperous millionaire. And guys, that is our time. Wholesale Hotline number 167. Let's get another view of the audience, everybody. And if we would, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Laura. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, we out of here, guys. Wholesale Hotline, get out of here. Boom.
Or just say squat up.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
What are you doing?
I didn't say nothing.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Cool. I think we should use the one where Jamil doesn't say anything.